So talking a bit more, ventrivagal is social engagement. This is where we're calm, our voice is calm, our face is calm, others know it's safe, we're friendly. You can imagine like playing with your child and you're really present and smiling, and it's just a good way to engage and connect. You feel happy, peaceful, safe, open. Your emotions are like regulated, and you can like think clearly and see others' point of view and problem solve more effectively. Our body is just more calm and everything, like our digestion's working well, our immune function, like things. So that's why if we're in this state most of the time, this is why our hormones don't become imbalanced and why our immune doesn't like go over the top, why our bodies can come into balance and we can have more easy periods, and we have less cravings and um, less headaches and more energy and things like that. Um, and your thoughts in the state, like I said, the state dictates a story, which are your thoughts, are like things are possible. I'm hopeful. I can do it. I can cope. Um, like this is good. This is a good thing. I'm excited. Um, and then sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight. So this is where your that lion is across the way across, and you actually have the ability to um, actually run away, or that you have the ability to fight back. So the state is activated in response to perceived threats. It prepares the body for action, whether that's to fight or to run away. And it helps us to take action. So it's not entirely bad. Like when we need to get shit done, when we do need to be productive. Um, like I said yesterday, if your child runs out on the road and you're like, oh shit, you need to run and go get them. That'll be when you need to slam on the brakes in your car when a car pulls out in front of you. This is fight or flight. So we do need it. Um, and like I said, it's also like when you actually have to work, when we, back in the day, hunting animals, doing like directed work, like building houses, doing our projects, doing our work, um, dance and play. Um, but it's also about the way in which you perceive the situation has an influence on our body. So if we're doing things, like I said, in flow and you're working and you're having a great time and it's like fun, and you're making it pleasurable, then it doesn't have the same detrimental breakdown effect on your body. And it's easier to get out of. It's more controllable. Whereas if we're anxious and we're stressed and we're so busy and like everyone's annoying us, we have to do everything. Why is it always me? I have to do everything myself. Um, it's like a different energy in the body, and this is more like a chaotic energy that then has like breakdown effects on our body. Um, like we said, we need it to like get up and go in the morning when we want to exercise, um, but it's also when we're having a fight with someone. So in fight, your thoughts are, I have to, I must, there's not enough time, this needs to happen now, like I can't sit still, I can't rest, like it's not safe for me to rest, I have to be busy all the time, nobody can do it like me, I have to be seen to be productive. So if that's you most of the time, your nervous system is stuck in a sympathetic response. Feelings can be anxious, fearful, hypervigilant, catastrophizing, overthinking, tense, on edge, urgency, angry, irritable, restless, frustrated, even but energized, like I said, like in a good way as well. Worry, pressure, control. If you're very controlling, you can be snappy, um, like reactive to the kids or your husband, or yeah. So in your body, if your heart rate increases, breathing rate increases, lots of muscle tension. So you might have like lots of aches and pains. Um, because the thing is with anxiety is that energy is mobilized. Usually anxiety, you get it from like overthinking and feeling like you should be doing something or you should be productive, and if you don't use that energy like productively, then it's just like free in your body to like cause chaos and like dysregulation, and it stays stuck because you're not actually using it in the way that it's meant to be used. Same with flight is, I need to find a way out of this, I need to get away, racing thoughts, this is too much for me, I have to escape. So obviously this is like getting out of it when you're in a fight, which sometimes can be like a good thing, but it's also like feeling overwhelmed, avoiding things that you know you need to do. Urgency, always in a rush. I think a lot of people can identify with that. Anxious, fearful, worried, frustrated, just wanting to escape. So this, if you've been in this, this is where like you always need a holiday, you always need to get away, you always need a trip, just wanting to get away from your own life because it's just too much. So avoidance of examples is avoiding responsibility, like procrastinate, leaving your work till like the last minute. That's where you're like it, in and out. You could be like in freeze and flight, and then it's like, oh shit, I've left it to the last moment. So now you're in like a fight response, and you're like trying to get it all done, but like it's not really from a place. It's like from a place of like urgency and like I have to get this done and things like that. Um, which can show like you can get addicted to stress hormones. That's the thing. People get stuck in the stress hormone cycle if they don't break it. And you break it by regulating your nervous system, being aware of your thoughts and things like that. Ignoring or ghosting people, leaving early or canceling things, walking away, having to get away in an argument, or always needing a holiday or getting away. So the thing is, if you're in a sympathetic state, you have to, I do more about this in Revive, but just quickly, you've got all this energy in your body. So before you can come into balance, before you can come into a calm present state, you need to get that energy out in like a good way. The problem is nowadays we get like anxious and things like that, and then we're like scrolling our phones, so that energy is still trapped in your body. So you need to get rid of the energy without spiking your cortisol more. So things like HIIT, high intensity workouts, F45, they're not great if you are chronically stuck in this state, because they can actually get rid of the energy, but they can create actually more stress in your body. So you want to be doing something to like get that energy out, and then you want to bring yourself into a more calm, use practices to get yourself into a calm state, into that ventrivagal, or into stillness or something like that. But you can't get into stillness or ventrivagal or that like social happy place, um, if you've got all that energy around. So that's what people feel like. I'm really anxious. Maybe I just need to meditate, and they can't meditate, and then they kind of give up on that. That's kind of skipping a step. So that's something to be aware of. And then shutdown collapse is that dorsovagal response. So this is where a lion is standing right by you and you can't fight or run away. So your nervous system says, I'm sorry, I don't think we can cope with this. It's always protecting you. That's your body. Everything that it's doing is actually protection. And if it's doing things that you don't want it to do, you really have to look at, where are you not making yourself feel safe? Where are your triggers or the things that are reminding you of past experiences where you didn't feel safe? Or what are you not doing? Are you not like being compassionate to yourself? Are you talking to yourself like an a-hole? Are you drinking 3 coffees for your breakfast? That's definitely going to send you into a stress response. Anyway, your nervous system says to you, I'm sorry, I don't feel like we can cope with this. I can't fight. This is just all too much. We can't cope with this. So I'm going to shut down and numb out, so you don't have to feel the hurt or pain of what we can't make go away. Um, so this stage is associated with immobilization, hibernation, conservation of energy, in response to like extreme threats or like a sense of helplessness, or if you've been in fight flight for so long, for years. You can be there, if you're just identify as a worrier and anxious person, you've been in fight flight for years and years and years, and basically you just start numbing out, you get depressed, you just won't care about things, you just don't do things that you love anymore, feel like you can't connect with people, you don't want to socialize, things like that. And like I said, this can also be like, it definitely occurs like when you're adrenal fatigue and burnout, depression, um, and your body releases numbing hormones for the pain and overwhelm. But if you not when you not numb one feeling, you numb them all. So that's also why you can't feel joy and things like that. So if you're shutting down all your like emotions of like anger, rage, sadness, or anxiety, you're also shutting off um peace and joy and happiness and excitement. So that's why you can't shut one down without the other. it makes you slow down because it's all too much. So animals do this when they're caught by a predator and can't escape or fight. So instead they play dead. Um, they also numb out. So if you were to be attacked, you can dissociate and not feel it. So it's always protective, like I said. And thoughts you might think when you're in this state is, I can't, there's no point, I'm useless, it's too late for me, I'm a failure, it's hopeless, what's the point? Why does this always happen to me? Space. I just want to lie down and give up. And you'll be feeling hopeless, unmotivated, depressed, shut down. Um, you just don't want to do anything. You're just numb. Indifferent, lethargic, uh, dissociated. When I was burnt out, like I definitely had all those feelings. I was definitely in this state. And I know I was in this state because, like I said, when you're in that state and you come out of it, you go into fight or flight, anxiety, anger, things like that. And that all happened to me. And had I not known what was happening, I would have probably gone back into that state. And that's why people do tend to go up and down between these if you're not prepared or you don't have the tools there to know what to expect and know what to do once you get to the next level. Um, coming out of this state, how to get out of that state is you want to mobilize that energy, but very gently. You don't want to push yourself too much. You just start having to come back into your body and actually start feeling again. So, being mindful, like if you're doing the dishes, if you're in the shower, of the like water on you, being aware of your senses, like when you're eating something, being aware of like how it tastes and things like that. Just tuning back into your body because this mechanism in itself takes you out of your body, like 'cause it's just not safe to be in your body because everything's too much, it's too overwhelming. So gentle movement, like rocking and swaying and things like that. Just starting to like look after yourself again, like eat more regularly, start doing that little bit of self care. Um, somatic exercises, really gentle somatic. So somatic means body exercises, like and vagus nerve things like humming and gargling and singing. When you're in the state, you might not feel like singing. So you do what you can each day, just the little things to start coming out of those states. And like I said, I've got a whole um, part of to talk about like how to come out of this in Revive. Just skip over these, but basically you also have blended states where out of those three responses, it's like your nervous system has one foot in so for example, fawn is where you people please, caretaking, over explaining, submitting. And this isn't just like taking care of people. This is like um being responsible for other people's feelings. Like if I don't do this, then they might get angry. Or if I don't do this, they might think I'm lazy and basically reject me. You know, I have to do this or somebody will be mad at me and things like this. It's just denying, betraying yourself and your own needs for other people. Because back in primitive days that made you feel safe. It was a way of like protection when you don't feel safe. Being like always thinking about what others are thinking, what do they think of you? Um, and then freeze is basically I this is definitely one that I tend to go into, and I'm either you can be in both because I am either like sympathetic, so I'll like this is how I burnt out is like you go and try and be productive, and then suddenly it gets too much, so your body goes into like freeze, and then you procrastinate and you'll shut down and you'll just be like doom scrolling, and you'll sit in your car when you get home and just be like staring into space like for no reason. Um, indecisiveness, procrastination, overwhelm. And so you've got one leg in dorsal-vagal or shutdown and one in fight or flight. So this is not shutdown. Freeze is there is energy in your body. Like you've got one foot on the brake and one foot on the gas pedal. So there's all this like energy in your body. So you'll get loads of anxiety and things like that. And you'll feel, but you'll just be frozen. Okay. Like I have it here, like the deer in the headlights. Your thoughts will be like, I have to do it, but I can't. I have so much to do, but it's all like too much and it's too overwhelming. And I've got to get like all these emails done. And oh my God, I've got the kids ready. And then I've got to get myself ready and we've got to get out the door, but I just don't want to do anything. So, oh my God, I've been on my phone for like 10 minutes scrolling when I should be making them breakfast. Kind of this, that kind of feeling. Um, Yeah, so it's again trying to protect you when you can't fight or flee. And it's kind of to conserve our energy, but it's all like in our energy, or like, will you still be like overthinking and anxious and things like that? There's still energy moving, but you're just not like using it. And thoughts are, I can't, there's no point, there's no hope, I can't think, I don't know what to do. So your brain will be really foggy. Um, yeah, and things, it constantly like scrolling social media, watching Netflix, but you're not really invested, or you'll just watch the same program over and over again. Just not wanting to make decisions. You might use food or alcohol or phone to numb out. So sometimes you have like uncomfortable emotions or feelings come up. Instead of feeling those, you'll eat, or you'll eat things that don't serve you. You'll go over to the fridge, as that's your way of like dealing with it, or else you'll constantly like pick up your phone. So rather than feel your feelings or kind of process what's happening in your body, you numb out using those things, and also alcohol, things like that. Um, can't make decisions or take action. And like I said, just sitting there, like staring into space. And because of time, I'm going to just skip over these. And then there's a functional freeze, where that is freeze, but to everyone else, like you can do your job, you do the things that people like expect you to do, and you might actually be really good at them and functioning well. And then you get home and you just can't function. Like you don't probably look after yourself well. You're just doom scrolling, and you don't want to do anything else when you get home. You just like zone out. So to others, you look fine.